Hey guys, I'm Rick with Let's Level Up, and this is our second part of 3 in our Forged in Fire review series. And in this is going to be a short and sweet video. Actually, don't know how short it's going to be, but we're going to go through and give you a complete spoilers list for all the cards here, including a deck list with numbers. So there'll probably be little talking, a lot of background music here, but I will show you each of the cards and explain just a bit on how I think you can be able to use a few of the key ones in strategies and whatnot. So hope you enjoy. Thanks so much. As always, please thumb up the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as well. Follow us on all of our social media sites, which are available at letslevelup.net. And most importantly, game on. Alright, first and foremost, look at the different player cards here. Here we have the Warlord. You can see he's got 120 spellbook points, 34 life, 0 base armor, and 9 channeling. This is the Anvil Throne Anvil Throne Warlord. He is a dwarf. He is trained in the War and Earth skills. He has the Runesmithing ability, Battle Orders. He's also Battle Hardened, which gives him the Tough -2 trait, and does a basic melee attack on with 3 base damage. Here is his artwork. Feel free to pause this video at any time if you want to get a better description and read all of the different text on the card. I want this to go a little bit quicker since there are so many cards to get through. Here we have the Dremel X Warlock. She is just absolutely stunning. She has 120 spell power or spellbook points, 33 health, 0 base armor, 9 channeling. She is trained in both the Dark and Flame schools. She has 3 incredible abilities and a basic attack that's absolutely insane. She has Fire Weaving, Smoldering Curses, Demonic Reward, and Burning Touch as her basic action. Just really, really great abilities. And if you guys haven't already seen our first video in this series, I recommend you go back and watch that because we go into these different abilities a lot more in depth in that video. Now time for the 2 attack spells that come in this set. We have Devil's Trident, which is a very, very cool ability. This is a ranged attack of 0 to 1 targeted on a creature. It is a dark and fire, each level 1. So it's going to cost you 2 points to put it in a spellbook. It does 4 base damage and has the ability to give you cripple, and burn, or just burn depending on what you roll on the die. Plus it is piercing +2. And the artwork is absolutely incredible for it. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of that spell here. The other spell is Hurl Rock. This is a level, 4 mana cost, level 1 earth spell. It's a ranged attack, does 5 base damage, and does daze on a 9 or higher. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4 copies, 5 copies, 6 copies of Hurl Rock in the set. I love this artwork. Let's see who did it there. Paul Kaczynsko. Paul Kaczynsko did the artwork here on this card and it is absolutely stunning. So Paul, if you see this video, man, kudos. I absolutely love this card. Alright, now for incantations. We've got up first Combustion, which is a 5 mana cost. 1 fire-based, incantation. It is a flame-based attack, and it is going to target a corporeal creature or conjuration. It says remove all burn conditions from the target, then Combustion makes the above attack to the target where X is twice the number of burn conditions removed. So if you've got a bunch of burn stacked on something, you can make it all go away in one big explosion. Really, really fun card here. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Combustion. Then we have Conquer. Conquer is very cool. It is an X cost incantation, level 4 war spell. Target is a 0 to 1 enemy, or rather an enemy non-terrain corporeal conjuration within 1 zone. It is a mage cast, war mage only. It is a mage cast, war mage only. It says the target must not be attached to another object. If you control the target zone and have a friendly soldier in that zone, destroy the target. Then, as a free action, you may immediately cast the destroyed conjuration or a non-terrain conjuration spell from your spellbook, targeting this zone X equals the casting cost of the target. So this is an interesting way to destroy conjurations and then put your own up there. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Conquer. We talked about Defend in the last video, so we'll just go through this very briefly. This allows you to put a guard marker target, rather on target, and it costs you X, depending on their level there. And it's basically they can't already have a guard condition on there. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of Defend. Then we have Disarm, cost X, 0 to 2, Mage. It's a mind spell, or rather a force spell. This is a novice as well. And it says once you cast Disarm, or rather when you cast Disarm, choose an equipment object attached to the target mage, place the disable market on it, where X is the object's level. So very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of Disarm. Then we have Flank Attack. It costs 3. It's a quick action spell. Target soldier creature within 2. It's a level 1. It says if target's next melee attack this round attacks an enemy creature that was attacked, or rather this round attacks an enemy creature that was attacked and damaged by another friendly soldier this round, then the attack gains piercing +2 trait and the target gains the melee +2 trait for the attack. This is a great way to kind of use your numbers as a warlord to help get the advantage there. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of Flank Attack. We've also talked about Ignite already, but to go through it again, level 2 spell, flame-based attack. You give a target creature a burn condition if it does not already have one. Awesome, awesome spell, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of that. Next up, we have a Dremel X Touch. This is a again, we've talked about it before on the previous video, but it is a 2 to cast, 1 to reveal, 1 dark, 1 fire base spell. Has Mage Bind +2. And says whenever a burn condition on the creature rolls a 0, you may pay 1 mana to prevent its removal. So a way to keep your burn out on the table. Excuse me, got these a little bit out of order here. But that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of that. Then we have Akiro's Favor. This is a 2 to cast, 1 to reveal. Quick action, target is a friendly living creature, 0 to 2. With a war skull of 1. Says once per round, if this creature makes a melee or ranged attack, you may re-roll all of the attack dice or roll the effect die for that attack. Or if that attack has to roll to hit, such as a daze condition, you may re-roll that die. You may re-roll the die roll instead. Use the ready marker to keep track of this ability. So this allows you to essentially re-roll your attack, which is nice. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of that. Arcane Corruption is really nice as well. Arcane Corruption has a base, rather cost of 2, 5 to reveal, so it's pretty expensive to cast. It is a curse, a dark level 2 spell, and it says it has a Mage Bind +3 trait, which is going to cost you 8 to put it on a mage. But it says each upkeep phase deal 1 direct damage to this creature for each enchantment hidden and revealed attached to that creature your opponent controls. So if you got something that's enchanted and decked out, you put Arcane Corruption on there and just watch it wither away. Is there only one of those? Let me just check through here really quick. No, there's a couple more. So yeah, there's 3 copies of that here in this set. Sorry, 4 copies of that. And then we have Fumble. It says 2x, the 1 force. It says when this creature makes a non-spell, non-zone attack, you may reveal Fumble immediately after the declare step. The attack misses and does not affect the target object. Then destroy Fumble. X equals the creature's level -1. Fumble has no effect on unmovable creatures. Those Fumbles are a really cool way to mitigate damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of Fumble. 6 copies of Fumble. So that makes sense. We have Lion Savagery, which I know is out of order already. Let's bring that back up here. We've talked about Lion Savagery before in the previous video, but just to get things nice and together. Lion Savagery is going to cost 2 to cast, 3 to reveal. It says the creature gains charge +2, and if it's a melee attack, gains piercing +1, which is a really awesome ability here. And there are 6 copies of Lion Savagery. Brace Yourself, cost 2 and 0 to reveal, 0 to 2, level 1 war spell. It's a novice spell. This says the creature gains armor +4 at the end of the round to destroy Brace Yourself. Oh, excuse me. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of Brace Yourself. And I believe last but not least we have Rust, and there's going to be 6 copies of Rust. But Rust is a 2/2 enchantment, 2 to cast, 2 to reveal, 0 to 2, target creature within 2 zones. Mage Mind +1, target creature gains armor -2, so it's a way to keep that armor from stacking up and it'll make things a little bit more squishy. Okay, first up for equipment we have a Dremel X Touch. It's a 3 cost level 1 dark spell. It takes the neck piece slot. And it says at the end of the mage's action phase, they may pay 2 mana to place a burn condition on a target creature. That creature must have no burn conditions and at least 1 revealed curse that you control attached to it. So this is a really, really powerful neck piece that only costs 3. Again, it's going to make the Dremel Warlock just so nasty. We have the Bloodfire Helmet, which costs 5. It has 1 dark. It's a helmet piece, of course. Warlock only. It says demons you control gain melee +1 while attacking an object with burn conditions. So this is just, again, burn is so nasty with this Warlock. It's just incredible. And then we have Eisenarch's Forge Hammer. It's a level 2 war spell, 8 mana to cast. It is a weapon slot, of course. It is a quick action, or rather has a quick action attack what you get with it called Smite, or rather Smash. My eyes are starting to go crossed a little bit. It deals 4 combat damage on a d12, 8 or to 10, rather you daze, 11 or higher you stun. It also has the key word or key ability here. It says once per round, this mage may pay 1 less mana when he or she or a spawn point, or rather when he or she or a spawn point or familiar he controls casts an equipment spell. It's a way for you to get equipment out and have it cost even less, which is nice. Then we have the General Signet Ring here, level 3 mana to cast, level 1 war spell. It says once per round, this mage may pay 1 less mana when he or spawn point he controls casts a soldier spell. That's very nice. Harshforged Plate, we talked about this in our previous video, but Harshforged Plate costs 8. It is an armor piece, a level 2 war spell. It says the mage gains +2 armor, and then enemy controlled enchantments and incantations which target this mage cost 2 additional mana to cast, which is very, very nice. And there's going to be 2 of those. And then we have the Morning Star, which is a really nice basic attack. It just has a basic attack 4. It's unavoidable, which is very good. Cost 1, and there's actually a few copies of these, so it's a really cool weapon to have out and kind of force people to destroy it, and then be able to have extra backup copies there, because there are 4 of them, which is very nice. Alright, first is the Altar of Carnage. It has a 8 casting cost. It targets a zone from 0 to 1 zones away. Level 2 war spell, has 2 armor, 8 health. It is a zone exclusive legendary war mage only epic, and it says when a friendly soldier attacks and damages an enemy creature, you may place 1 mana on a friendly spawn point or familiar. Each friendly soldier may only trigger this ability once per round. This is a great way to get more creatures out. There are 2 Altars of Carnage. There's a Altar of Domination, which is a level, or rather 9 mana cost, quick action, of course. 0 to 1 zones, level 2. It has 3 armor, 8 health. It is a zone exclusive burn-proof warlord only epic. It says during the upkeep phase, if you control 3 or more outposts, place a domination token on the Altar of Domination. During the deployment phase, if there are 4 or more domination tokens on the altar, you may retrieve Talos from your spellbook and summon it to the zone at no mana cost, then destroy this altar. This is a really, really cool ability to get an awesome creature, and we'll go over Talos here a bit later. There are 2 copies of that. Then we have the Armory, which is an outpost. It costs 10 to summon, has 2 armor, 9 health. It is a zone exclusive, Flame 2 unique. It may not be placed in a zone adjacent to another friendly outpost. All friendly soldiers gain armor +1 and all their attacks gain piercing +1. Very cool here. And there are going to be 3 copies of Armory. Then we have the Construction Yard, which is also an outpost, level 2 war spell. It costs 7 to pull out. It has 1 channeling, 1 armor, 8 health. It is zone exclusive and it is epic. It says may not be placed in a zone adjacent to another friendly outpost. Whenever a non-living corporeal conjuration is destroyed, place an amount of mana equal to its level on the Construction Yard. Once per round, if you or a friendly spawn point or familiar cast a corporeal war conjuration on an earth wall, you may use any mana on Construction Yard to pay towards the casting cost of that spell. Oh, excuse me, or an earth wall, not on an earth wall. You may use any mana on Construction Yard to pay towards the casting cost. So this is a way for you to get any of those conjurations out, which is very nice. That's what I thought initially, and then I read it and confused myself, so go me. Then we have the Harshforged Monolith, which is very cool. It kind of brings us back to the Harshforged Plate. It costs 6 to put out. It has 4 armor, 7 health. Zone exclusive, burn proof, legendary, epic. It says all enchantments hidden or revealed within 1 zone of Harshforged Monolith gain upkeep +1. So it's going to cost you 1 extra mana to keep that enchantment out, or else it fizzles. Then of course Rolling Fog, which I talked about at length in the last video, costs 7. It is a level 2 elemental spell. It is a cloud. It's indestructible, has dissipate 3, incorporeal, epic. All objects and zones in the arena have the obscured trait. Just a huge, awesome spell. And then the wall we get from this is the Wall of Earth. Cast cost 5. Zone border. Can't pass through it. Can't see through it. Has 8 health. Is immune to lightning and fire attacks. Is extendable and has weaker against Hydra-based attacks. That is it for our conjurations. Okay, and finally it brings us to our creatures here. So first we're going to go through the Anvil Throne Crossbowman. He's an 11 mana cost creature, Dwarf Soldier. It is a 1 natural armor, 8 health. He does a piercing +2 crossbow attack. It does within range 1 zone or 2 zones away. Deals 3 damage. He also has a small axe attack that has 3 based quick action melee attack. Which means you roll 3 dice for that, sorry. They do have lightning +1, so they're a little bit weaker to lightning attacks. Anvil Throne Crossbowman is in here 4 times. Then we have the Assyrian Defender, who's got a casting cost of 8. He has the defensive trait. He's a Knight Soldier. He has the defense of 9 or higher, which can be used 1 time. And the defense basically means that you roll that, and if you get a 9 or higher, you hit. If you get under that, you miss this creature. Your attack is completely negated. He has 2 armor, 8 health, and has a broadsword attack of 3. So this is a nice little creature, nice little tanky creature to get out there. And there's actually a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those guys. We have Blood Demon, which you talked about before. It's a 12 mana cost, level 3 demon creature. Just amazing demon here. 1 armor, 11 health, has a vampiric strike of 3, has bloodthirsty +1, and flying. Just an incredible creature here. 4 copies of that. Then we have the Bloodcrag Minotaur, which is a 15 mana cost, level 4 war creature. Has a 3 base armor, 14 natural health. He has a quick melee attack called Horns that does 4. He has charge +2 and the tough -2 trait, which is very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of him. Then we have Cerebus, the Imp Familiar, has a 12 based mana cost, level 3 demon creature. He is a familiar, so he gets his own channeling of 1. He has 2 natural armor, 9 health. He has a quick fire based melee attack called Singe. It does 2 damage, or rather it's 2 attack dice. I have such a hard time making that distinction. D12 on a 7 or higher, you get burn, and of course the defrost, which really doesn't do anything now. But for me, he is a familiar. He has flame -2, legendary, warlock only spell. Cerebus can only cast level 1 to 2 fire attack spells or level 1 to 2 curse enchantments. A neat little creature for the warlock to have. For 2 copies of him. Then we have Cerebus, level 17, or level 17, goodness. 17 mana cost, level 4 dark creature. He has 3 base armor, 13 base health. He has a quick melee attack called Bite. It has piercing +1 and 3 attack damage. He has the flame -2, tough -3, and legendary traits. And it says, while Cerebus is guarding in the same zone with a friendly dark conjuration, he gains unmovable trait, and his attack gains triple strike, which is very cool. There are 3 copies of Cerebus in there. And then it brings us to the Goblin Alchemist, which we talked about before. He has a 9 mana cost, a level 2 war creature. He has has 1 base armor, 8 health, 3 different attacks, 2 of which are full action ranged attacks with 0 to 1. 1 is fire, 1 is acid, 1 does 2 damage, 1 does 3 attack dice rather. You get 5 or higher on the first one, gives you burn. 5 or higher on the second one gives you corrode. And then he has a poison dagger attack, which is a quick melee poison attack that deals potentially 2 combat dice on a D12. 8 or higher gives you rot, which is very cool. And there's 4 copies of him. There's a lot of utility here in this creature. And we've got Gamache, the Orc Sergeant, on his 11 mana cost, full round. Of course, all creatures are full round. 3 war. He is a familiar for the Warlord, which is awesome. He has 1 1 channeling, 2 armor, 10 health. He has a quick attack, quick melee action, does 3 potential attack damage, or attack dice. It does bleed on 9 or higher. And he can cast command spells, including the battle orders of his controlling Warlord, which makes him very interesting. Then we have the Infernal Gorger. He's a 9 mana cost, level 2 dark creature, 1 armor, 8 health. He has piercing +1 and counter strike. He has a melee attack of 3 attack damage and attack dice. Did it again. And flame -2. And there's 4 copies of him. Okay, we have the Master Engineer, Otto Kronig. He has 11 mana cost, level 3 war spell. He has a 2 base armor, 11 base health. He has the Maul ability. It's a 3 base melee attack. And he says, place an armor +1 token or reconstruct 2 damage from a non-living corporeal conjuration in his zone. So there's a way to basically fortify and repair things, which is very handy, especially with all the outpost synergy from a lot of the conjurations that we have here. He is legendary and has lightning +2. There are 3 copies of him. Then we have Talos, level 28 mana cost creature, which again, if you play your conjurations right, you can get him out there for free. He has 5 base armor. He's a level 7 war spell, 16 base health. He has an amazing attack. It's a quick action melee attack, deals 6 damage worth of dice. Or rather, dice worth of damage. He has reach, which means he can attack over the next zone, and piercing +2. He's unstoppable, burn-proof, psychic immunity, non-living warlord epic. It says Talos comes into play with an action marker ready, which is incredible. He can attack the first time, or rather, he can do stuff the first round he's in. It says Talos may only be brought into play from the altar of domination. It costs no spell points to include Talos in your spellbook. Incredible ability here, and there are 2 copies of Talos. Then we have the Wildfire Imp. It's a 5 mana cost, level 1 dark creature, 0 armor, 5 mana, or rather 5 health. Claws, quick melee attack. It does 1 damage, piercing +1. This is a pretty standard level 1 creature here. He has flame -2 and does have the special text on him. It says, instead of taking a move action, Wildfire Imp may pay 1 mana to teleport to target zone. with an object with a burn condition on it, and then Wildfire Imp gains melee +2 on attacking the creature with a burn condition on it, which is just incredible. So he's such a small cast creature. They're very squishy, but there are a few of them in there. You can get them on the board, wait to get burned, and then swarm something. And there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Wildfire Imps. And then finally, last but not least, we have Sardonyx, Blight of the Living, 24 mana cost. 24 mana cost creature. It is a level 8, dark spell, 0 armor, 31 health. He has 3 different attacks here. First of which is his Crushing Jaw. He has piercing +2, 5 damage dice. He has a tail sweep attack, which is sweeping as 5 dice as well. It's a full round action. Then he has a breath weapon that targets a zone 0 to 1 away. It hits every creature in the zone, does 2 damage to each creature, rather 2 attack dice, and can potentially rot each creature. It's also unavoidable, so any defenses cannot be applied. He has Psychic Immunity, Unstoppable, Non-Living, and Legendary. And it says, each upkeep phase, Sardonyx's controller loses 2 life. And then living creatures in the same zone as Sardonyx gain the finite life trait. And the finite life trait basically says is that their life values can only go down. You cannot heal that. So any living creature basically cannot heal or regenerate their life. So they can only ever get weaker, which is incredible. Sardonyx is a really, really good creature to have for necromancers, and of course for warlocks he's going to be played definitely because he is a dragon and he's awesome. So hope you guys liked this video. We went through every card in Forged in Fire, and I hope you guys found it entertaining, or maybe more informative than entertaining. As always, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, follow us on all of our Facebook and Twitter accounts and all that nonsense. All of that stuff is at letslevelup.net. But most importantly, game on.